Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm trying out a brand new foundation and this is the YSL All Hours foundation and the shade that I have is BD40 Warm Sand. Now this has been all over YouTube recently and everyone's been bragging about it, saying how much they love it, and I decided I was going to go ahead and try it out because it says 24-hour long wear and also flawless matte, and I have very oily skin, so I'm all about foundations that say matte for me, and yeah, I'm just really excited to try this out. So when I was testing out all of the different shades, it was very hard for me to find the shade that matches me because I test it out on my hand and then after about a minute it would oxidize a lot. So it would start off being the correct shade and then it would oxidize and be very orange and very dark, and it wasn't just a little bit that it oxidized, it was a lot. So I decided to get the shade Warm Sand because I felt like this was the best match for me, and also whenever I go and get foundations I always look for the name that says sand in it because usually that's the one that's going to match me because I do have a very warm undertone because I do self tan, so I thought this one would be the best one. So there are 22 different shades in the collection. They start off from porcelain and cool porcelain and go all the way up to chocolate and ebony. They also do warm, neutral and cool undertones for the foundation shades as well, which is perfect, and I think they've done a really good shade range because if you are super fair or if you are super dark, it is very hard for you to find a shade that's going to match you, so I think they've done really well on that, and I am really excited to try this out. I'm hoping this is going to match me because when I did test this out I was a lot more self tan, so hopefully it's not going to be too dark for me. The foundation retails for £33.50 here in the UK and you get 25ml or 0.84 fluid ounces, and that's slightly less than what you get in a usual foundation. Usually you get 30ml or 1 fluid ounce, so I'm hoping you only need a little bit of this foundation because like I said you do get less than the usual foundation. So on the website it has some claims. It says own the night and the day with a matte foundation for a flawless complexion which stays put for up to 24 hours. A rich level of fine pigments means full coverage with a flawless even finish without a mask-like effect. The high coverage foundation's innovative formula is waterproof and transfer resistant with no compromise on comfort and no need to touch up. The oil-free formula gives a matte look throughout the day and helps reduce the appearance of pores. And it also says it's enriched with a skincare complex and UV filter, leaving skin looking fresh and smooth, suitable for all skin types including sensitive skin, and SPF 20. So the foundation says that it's going to last for 24 hours, it has a matte finish and it's oil-free, and as you guys know I'm all about foundations that say that they're oil-free because I do have very oily skin. My forehead is super oily, also I have very sensitive skin as well, so the fact that it says it's for sensitive skin is amazing for me, and the fact that it says 24-hour wear I'm really excited for because I've only found one foundation that's managed to stay on my skin all day, and that's the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and that doesn't even say 24-hour wear but it lasts all day on my skin, so I'm hoping this one is going to last a very long time. Also the fact that it says transfer resistant is great as well because I do work on phones at work as well, so hopefully it's not going to transfer onto the phones. So I'm really excited to try out this foundation. I've never tried any foundation from YSL before, so I don't know how it's going to go on my skin, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my face and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what it looks like. So this is what the packaging looks like, and I think it looks really nice and sleek and it looks very expensive as well. I like the fact that you have the frosted glass finish on there, you also have the logo on the cap, and you also have a pump as well, which is amazing because a lot of foundations don't have a pump and it just makes it a lot easier to get the foundation out, so I really do like that. The only thing I do have to say about the frosted glass finish is that it does look a lot lighter than when you put it on the skin. As you can see it looks like it's going to be very light compared to my neck, but I know that when I put it on my skin it is going to be a darker shade because I have tested out this shade because I did do a colour match on me. So I absolutely love the packaging, I think it's really gorgeous, and they also get 2 thumbs up from me for adding a pump on the foundation as well. So I've looked on the website for the best way to apply this foundation and it doesn't really say, so I'm just going to use my beauty blender. This is what I use for all my foundations and it gives me a really nice full coverage look, and it also makes it look really nice and flawless as well. So I don't know how much to use, so I've just put 1 pump on there. I'm going to do 2 pumps and that's what it looks like, and it's sort of like a runny formula. It's like a medium consistency. It's not running all the way down the beauty blender and it's not really thick. It sort of looks like a medium consistency, and that's what the shade looks like. So I'm just going to dab this on my skin. Like I said, I don't know how much to use of the foundation, but I'm going to do one side of my skin and see what it looks like and then compare it to the other side.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
So this is what one layer of the foundation looks like on one side of my face, and at the moment it's not full coverage. I think it's medium coverage because I do still have a lot of redness on my chin. I also have blemishes peeking through on my cheeks as well, and it does look nice, but it's not full coverage at the moment like it said it was going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more foundation in the areas where I do still have redness peeking through, and I'm going to see if I can build it up and see what it looks like afterwards. So I've done half a pump on my beauty blender, and I'm going to pop a bit on my chin and some on my cheeks and again on my forehead. So now that I've added on the extra bit of foundation, I can see that it is more full coverage now. I do still have a bit of redness on my chin, but the rest of my skin, it looks really, really good, and it did build up really well as well, and it doesn't look cakey on the skin. My pores do still look quite large, but to be honest, I'm not really too shocked about that because my pores are really, really big. So I do like the way that it looks. What I'm going to do is do the other side of my face, and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So this is what the foundation looks like on both sides of my face, and I have to say that I do really like it. It really reminds me of the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. It has the same consistency, it has pretty much the same coverage as well, and it looks almost identical on the skin. The only thing I do have to say is it hasn't covered up the redness on my chin at the moment, and I have put extra foundation on there, but I am going to go ahead and put a little bit more foundation on my chin just to see if I can cover it up. Other than that, it looks flawless on the skin, and it just looks really, really nice. So the colour match is perfect. It looks pretty much exactly the same as my neck, and when I first put it on I was a little bit worried because it did look a little bit too light, but it oxidised very, very quickly, and it oxidised quite dark, to be honest. So at the moment it does match my neck, and I really do like the way that it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. So I finished off my makeup, and this is what it looks like, and the foundation looks really nice and flawless on the skin. It built up really well, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look patchy, and the rest of my makeup just glided on really well as well, which was perfect for me. It's covered up all of my blemishes. I have a medium to full coverage look. The only thing is it hasn't covered up the redness on my chin fully, but it does look really good, and I really like the way that foundation looks on my pores because they are minimised, and it just looks really good. So I'm really excited to see how this foundation is going to go throughout the rest of the day. Before I put the foundation on, I did prime my skin using my Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer, and it's a primer that I use for all of my foundations so I can see what it looks like for the rest of the day, and hopefully it's going to control my oils, and hopefully it's going to last a very long time. And because it says 24-hour wear, I'm going to test this foundation out for at least 8 hours so you can see what it's going to look like for the rest of the workday. So it's just after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to go ahead and go to work, and I'm going to come back in a few hours and let you know how the foundation's gone on my skin throughout the rest of the day and give you my final first impression review. Bye! Hi guys, so I'm back and it's now 9 o'clock in the evening, so I've had this foundation on for 9 hours now, and I feel like now is the best time for me to give you my final first impression. So looking at my skin, I feel like my face looks really good still. As you can see, I do have some transfer on the left side of my cheek and also my chin. I don't have any foundation left on my chin, so it's not transfer resistant, but I feel like it has come off on this side because I have been using the phones at work, and I feel like that's what's happened. It has transferred onto the phones because as you can see on the right side of my face, my skin pretty much looks flawless, and I have all my foundation on there, and it just looks really good. So I did really like the colour of this foundation. The shade matched me perfectly, but just keep in mind when you do pick out this foundation, it is going to be oxidising during the day. And when I first put on the foundation, I was a little bit worried because it didn't look like it was going to be matte. It was quite dewy, and I didn't know if it would settle down, and also my pores looked really big when I first put it on. But after it settled into the skin, it minimised my pores, and I can't really see my pores anymore, which is incredible. Also, it did go to a really nice matte finish, but it doesn't look cakey, and it builds up really well as well. So if I was going out and I just wanted to top up this foundation, I just put it on the areas where it's come off, and it will look really nice and flawless. Also, another great thing is that I've been looking at my skin during the day, and my skin hasn't got shiny, it hasn't got oily, and usually with a foundation, even if it says that it's a matte finish or if it's oil free, I do still have my oils peeking through after about 4 hours. So I'm really impressed with the formula because it just goes so well with my skin, and it just looks really good. It doesn't look blotchy, it doesn't look cakey, and I feel like it just looks really, really good. So I will be trying out this foundation again on a day when I'm not at work because I do feel like it's come off on this side of my face because I have been using the phones, and as you can see on the right side, I've got no foundation that's come off, and I feel like if I was just wearing this day to day and I wasn't on the phones, it would probably just look flawless throughout the whole of my face. And I do have a little bit that's come off on the sides of my nose, but I have got a cold at the moment, and I have been wiping my nose during the day with tissues, so that's why it's come off on there. And then also I do wear glasses as well. So that's why I have these little patches on the sides of my nose, and I can't get rid of those because I do wear glasses, and it happens with all of my foundations. I don't know if it would last for 24 hours just because it has come off on one side of my face, but like I said, I'm not sure if that's just because I was at work and it was rubbing off on the phones. So like I said, I will be trying it out again. I love this foundation and I'm really happy that I got it as well, and it's converted me to YSL foundations. I didn't know how they'd go on my skin, and it's just gone really well, and I really do like it. I also like the fact that they have a very large shade range as well, so a lot of people are going to be able to find their shade that matches them. It doesn't accentuate my pores or my laughter lines, and it hasn't made me oily or shiny throughout the day. It's been a very long time since I've managed to find a foundation where I don't need to powder my skin during the day. I haven't used powder at all with this, and it just looks really good, and I haven't got oily, and I'm just really impressed with the formula, so I'm really happy that I got this. So this is my first impression on the YSL All Hours foundation. If you've tried out this foundation and you like it, or if you don't, just comment down below to let me know. Also, if there's any foundations that you want me to test out in a first impression, let me know as well, and I'll be sure to check those out. And make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!